Hello, friends. My dad, my colleague, and my dear friend, John Robbins, left his earthly body on June the 11th. And I'm reflecting a lot on his legacy on the planet for sure, but also his legacy in my life and what it's meant to me on a very personal level to have this man in my life and now to be letting him go. And one of the things that's alive for me right now is this relationship to pain and suffering. You know, he was always an activist and a change maker. And I remember him saying his version of the serenity prayer was, grant me the courage to change the things I can't accept. And yet, over the course of his life, he came to encounter things he couldn't change. And so post-polio syndrome became for him a recognition that there were times when he had to surrender. And I remember a couple years ago, I was with him and he was telling me how much pain he was in. And he said, Ocean, my legs are dying and I'm dying with them. And I said to him, we cried together. We were just crying and I was feeling that. And I felt right then that he wasn't kidding around, that he could feel his mortality and his death around the corner. And I took that in and we were in tears together, holding each other. And then I said, you know, Johnny, I called him Johnny. I said, you know, Johnny, there is a dimension of consciousness from which it's all okay. The legs, the pain, the dying, all the pain, all the dying, it's all okay. And he looked at me and he kind of smiled a little bit and he said, I'm glad you can see that. And it was both like recognizing that he couldn't really see that, but he was also respecting and appreciating that I could. And I said to him, maybe you've suffered so that I could have peace. And there was this recognition that he was feeling the pain and the attachment, trying to change things, wanting the world to be different than it was, and the suffering that comes with that. But that's also propelled him to make things and build things and do things and change things. And that his life had forged a path through a lot of brambles and a lot of struggles. And now I grew up in a family where that work was being done. And so I got to build on that legacy and the wisdom and the insights that he gleaned. He sometimes read a book a day. He was a voracious learner. And all of that learning fed into our family conversations. And all of the inner work that he did fed into the life that I grew out of. And now we were in this spot where I felt a place in my heart where I was called to accept it all. And he wasn't there. But then right towards the end of his life, in the last couple of days, he said to me, I'm starting to realize that there is a purpose to pain. It can break us, it can deepen us, it can open us, and it is part of the human experience on earth. And I'm coming to accept it. And of course, we want to make less pain. And of course, we want to make more love. We want to ease burdens. But I'm also seeing that we need to accept it all. And he said, and who doesn't want to hear this from their dad? He said, I'm starting to think a little bit more like you. I miss him. It hurts right here. And I also feel him. And I accept. Life and death are inseparable. We can't be born unless we're willing to die. So he took the ultimate leap. And now those of us alive are blessed by his legacy and his love and the pain and the acceptance and the opportunity to do something big and good if that's what we are called to. It's all here. Bless you.